Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Ware Board of Selectmen's meeting for the 11th of January, 2021. We are going to skip the Pledge of Allegiance, and we're going to go to public comment, if there is any on the Zoom. Nobody come in, Naomi? Nobody's come in for public comment? Okay.
No.
Okay, next thing we'll go to then is department head and committee items. Any department heads or committee items?
Chief Moore is on. I'm not sure if he has anything to say.
Okay.
Negative.
Chief, are you there? Negative, okay. Okay, the next item would be discuss the cemetery lawn care bid and with Big Dog Landscaping. I understand Nate St. Clair is trying to get in, or is in.
We're working at it, so move to the next one, please.
Okay, the next discussion would be discuss work on Jewett Road with Dylan Bovier. Has anybody signed in for that?
I believe Dylan, you out there? Madison?
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead, Dylan.
I can go whenever.
Yep.
All right. I'm asking permission to use Jewett Road. We've gotten a variance to build, and one of the conditions is to add a culvert in a section where the historic culvert is that floods over the road. So we would like permission to use the road for the culvert repairs and for use of the road when we start building.
Question, Dylan, is that going to be your address on Jewett Road?
I'm sorry, say that again. It cut out a little bit.
Your address is going to be Jewett Road?
Yes.
Okay. You understand that they explained to you that getting that put in is you're going to have to go to DS and get permits for that?
Yes.
Okay. Before that can even start, you'll have to have your permits and show them to the road agent.
Okay.
Okay. You have to get permits to put the culvert in.
All right.
Where you're dealing with wetlands.
The DES permit.
That you have to, yeah, you have to go to the Department of Environmental Services to get a permit to put the culvert in.
Okay.
And you do it under the guidance of the road agent or highway superintendent.
Okay.
Okay.
You're not going to take the old culvert out, though. You're going to leave that alone? And
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, the old culvert is staying there.
Okay, that's good.
So you're adding one, Dylan?
Yep.
Okay. Now is that culvert gonna be on the side of the road or like a ditch, or is it gonna be across, or?
It's going to be across. So it's going to be, we have minimum of 16 feet width. And then we have to widen the road so emergency vehicles can safely pass each other. And that has to be 50 feet widened. We have two 24-inch culverts that are both 20 feet long, and it's gonna go, right next to the old culvert.
About how far up are you from Mountain Road?
The driveway is gonna be approximately 500 feet from Mountain Road.
Okay.
And also the culvert it's gonna be an overflow culvert.
Okay.
And you've got the variance approved by the ZBA, if you've got the planning board yet?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Have you been to the planning board also?
No,
Why would he go to the
Okay.
planning board, Jack?
Well, he's going to have to get the plans approved for as far as where septic and so forth are gonna be.
Or is that that?
If it's a lot of record, and
He's
he,
gonna,
I'm not following. If it's a 30-acre lot, he get permission from the zoning board because he had to go there because the road's not class 5. And now you're sending him to
Correct.
DES to do the culvert work.
yeah, well, he had to go to DES. That's required by law to go to DES to put a culvert in, so.
Right, but the
I mean,
planning
even
board
Benji has
doesn't,
to get, permitted.
but the planning board doesn't have any involvement with, as far as setting your house and your septic system. It's as long as can fit it on your lot and within the setbacks.
Right.
Yep, okay, he's got the setbacks and everything. There's no other wetlands he's encroaching on.
But that's something that he'll have to do when he does his septic. He's gonna have a state-approved septic plan, and that goes to the state for approval.
Correct.
And
Right.
that shows your amount of feet from the well, the septic, and his setbacks from wetlands, because he's gotta be 75 feet from wetlands. So he's gotta make it all fit in whatever envelope that he has to
Yeah.
him.
Okay,
But he doesn't go to the planning board unless his driveway is greater than 10%. He's coming to you because the selectmen own the road. And even though the zoning board gave him permission with all these conditions, it's still, the selectmen are in charge and own the road. So you have to be the final approval.
okay, that's fine. I thought he still had to go to the planning board, but okay, you don't have to then.
No, you have people on too that I know want to speak
Okay.
in regards to that.
Who else do we have on?
They can probably do it orderly. I'm not sure how many want to speak. You've got a few abutters on there. You've got a few people that were on from the other night. I only recognize names because I did the Zoom for zoning board as well. There's an AJ, which is Nicole.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. I guess go ahead, Nicole. If Jack, if you're gonna let them speak, right? They'll just go.
Yep,
Okay.
yeah, go in an orderly manner. You know which ones. I don't have a list here in front of me, so.
Okay, I just have a couple quick questions. In regard to the culvert, that's gonna be next to our property line. So I'm just curious how far from the property line the culvert needs to be from our property line. I'm in a butter.
What's your address as far as abutting?
It's 294 Mountain Road, so we're in the corner. So our property line goes right up against theirs on Jewett.
Well, the culvert's gonna be out on to Jewett Road. It's not gonna be up next to your property. It's gonna be on and under Jewett Road.
Yep, my property runs along Jewett as well.
So at that point, it's gonna be within the top property. It's gonna be out in the town property, out in the town right away.
Right away.
And it's gonna be buried. And it's to keep the water from flooding the road. That's one of the
Yeah.
stipulations.
Oh yeah, no problem. I was just curious what the actual footage would be. Is it going to be like right up against our tree line, or?
No,
But
it
it's
has to
gonna be
stay
next
within
to
the
the
boundaries of the
existing-
road. It has to stay within the boundaries of the right of way.
What is it, 3 rods wide or something? Town roads, old ones?
They all
Yes, I
vary, but
believe so,
again,
something like that.
they all
So,
vary, but to answer Nicole's question, I believe it has to, I mean, there is a distance, and where it's another layer at DES to do it. So I'm not sure, Nicole, but the approval would have to be with the Department of Environmental Services.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, to meet the setbacks, as well as, there is some setbacks. I don't know where they are as far as, that's a DES rule, not ours.
And so would it be correct to refer to DES in regard to like the brook that runs through, and if that would be disturbed at all from any property activities on the new lot, or the lot in question?
They'll take that into consideration when they do that. They look at all of that.
Okay. Thank you.
Then the next one is going down through, I have a Hawks, which is Linda Goonan. Hi, Maddie.
Hello, can
Do
you
we
hear
have
me?
Yep, there she is. Okay, that's
Okay.
Linda Goonan.
Yep, we're not on a butter, we're down at the end of Jewett Road on the left, the last house, next to last house on the left. My question is, I thought I heard Dylan saying, and maybe I'm not understanding, when they widen the road to meet the requirements, is that road required to go to 50 feet wide? Did I misunderstand that?
16 feet, a minimum of 16 feet wide.
So what was the 50 feet that you said?
The stretch, I'll read the condition for you on the variance. Let me just pull it up here. Yeah. It's 16 feet wide minimum and 50 feet long. So it's in the vicinity past historical stone culvert on Jewett Road along the future land of Bovair. Implement of widening of Jewett Road for a minimum of 16 feet wide and 50 feet long. So two emergency vehicles can pass safely.
50 feet
That's
long,
a pull-off.
starting where?
That's a pull-off.
Oh. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, anything more than, I believe it's Board of Fireward, it's anything more than, I think it's 500 feet, there has to be a 50-foot long by 16-foot wide pull-off so that two fire trucks can pass each other.
So that would be after the culvert.
I don't know where it is. This is Ricky talking. I don't know where it is in relation to
The
Dylan's
culvert.
driveway at the culvert.
It would be after the culvert, yes.
How far up is your driveway going to be from the culvert?
300 feet, 200 feet, maybe, or no, we measure that. Yeah, about 300 feet.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. You don't have a time frame for this because it has to go through DES first, correct?
Yes, the plan was to do it when it starts to thaw in springtime. Because we're not gonna do it now because the ground is frozen. So, if everything works out and we get the permit and everything, we'll be able to do it around the time that we'd like.
And is Shovelworks actually on here?
Is who?
The guy that works for Shovelworks. Wondering what kind of time, how much time does this work take to happen? This is a one-way road. There's no way out. It's a dead end. So we're concerned about not being able to use the road while this work is being done.
Well, to put the culvert in shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Okay. All right. So they'll coordinate with the neighbors like they attempted to do before. That
Right.
didn't really go very well.
Yeah, well, we can work with any of you. We're willing to make anything work to make it convenient for anybody who lives on the road.
Okay.
Jack, are you all set, Linda?
Unless I can ask the ATV question, yes, which that
Yeah,
doesn't.
no,
really
I
apply to
think,
this.
so Linda and I have had a couple of swapped in emails. The big concern out there that was raised also on Tuesday night, excuse me, last week at the zoning meeting was the ATV activity that occurs out there. And the additional help they wanted, or to see if we could for law enforcement. And unfortunately, as I explained to Linda in my email, that it's traditionally fish and game. The Ware police, by the time we get there, they're long gone, and usually fish
Yeah.
and game has the same problem.
Right.
It's very unfortunate. It's just they're so fast and they can go over trees and rocks and everything else. But
Yeah,
Linda was also asking about posting the road. ZBA told her to go ahead and post it, but the selectmen own the road. You can't just go put up signs. So I'll let Linda ask anything more from there.
I guess the question was, can we get signs that specifically say no ATVs allowed? This does not apply to you, Dylan. I understand that that's not part of your
Mhm.
issue.
Yep.
It's a separate thing. Can we get specific signs, at least two of them, posted at the end of Jewett by Mountain by the Fair and Pond sign, and one at the end of Jewett where it meets Sawyer Road? Because that's where they come from. They come over Toby Hill, down Sawyer Road, and up Jewett to get to Fair and Pond. Big official looking signs that say, for her law, no ATVs allowed.
I don't believe that legally we can do that until we got to do a little more research. I think we have to go through town council because I don't think we can post that road like that.
You can't say
Oh.
no ATVs allowed but they're not allowed though.
No, they're not allowed. Not on
They're
a,
not out, but I think to put signs up to make it official, we'd have to go see what the official wording would be. Fishing Game's the one that's going to have to enforce it. They have the equipment and they deal with the off-road vehicles. So
Okay.
Well, the lower
we'll have to
end
look
of,
into it. I'm
the lower end of
not saying we
Jewett,
can't, but we'll have to look into it. Go through town council to make sure we do this properly, because posting class 6 roads is a whole can of worms with that.
Chairman, point of order.
the lower, the
Go ahead.
lower, the lower end of Jewett is non-maintained road, so I think it might be able to be subject to gates and bars. You may be able to do
Can we
one
do-
end of it.
Yes, please.
Would that be the same for Mountain?
Yes,
Yeah.
please
mean,
do that.
Putting
I'm
it
just saying-
subject to gates and bars does not prevent them from going out with ATVs or going out there with vehicles. So,
Right.
They'd have to go around both private properties down Mountain if there was a gate across.
Yeah, I know it quite
No.
well. So
there's a
I
whole
know
other
they do
issue of
that.
putting gates up too. So
I think
Chairman,
what
we're-
we should do,
Chairman, we're
yeah,
off topic.
there's another whole issue.
We're off topic, Chairman.
Okay.
Yep.
we can, I guess, Linda,
We'll
we
have
can
to
look
refer
into
it
it
to
for
Fish
you.
and Game. We'll talk to town council.
Okay, all right, great, thank you.
Kelly Hebert is also on.
Hello.
Hi,
So
Kelly.
I guess the conditions are a little vague for someone that doesn't understand these roads entirely correctly. When they said that Dylan has to bring the road up to be able to pass 2 fire trucks at the same time, if you start at Mountain Road where Nicole is, you come down a really steep hill, basically. And that's barely enough room right now for a car. My concern is there's trees on each side. So trees on Nicole's side and trees on some gentleman, I'm not sure who he is. What's gonna happen there? Who makes that call? Does Benji make that call to open up that whole entire road? What are the stipulations for where Dylan has to open up? Because there's no other way to Dylan's property other than that part of the road.
Are you talking about on Jewett Road, or are you talking about on Mountain Road?
Yeah, no. So right as you come off Mountain Road, you take a right on in Jewett and you come around a really sharp corner. There's a hill right there that we have all tried to maintain, putting dirt and stuff, and it's not wide enough for more than one car. There would be I think we counted the other day, 45 trees that would have to come down in order to widen that to the specs that the variance board told Dylan he had to do. I'm just curious where it's going to start, where his conditions starting.
Well, I'm not aware of where. I think whatever Tony has for plans and whatever the highway superintendent, Benji, has, it would go in that area where they specify.
Okay. It's you guys own the road, so I was just curious on what your stipulations would be on it.
Jack, Naomi, where does
Well,
the
they'd have to say,
fireworks come into this? As
Excuse
far
me?
as, where do the Board of Fireworks come into this as far as the, because it sounds like, to me, in a nutshell, that the ZBA basically told Dylan to bring it to a driveway standard, to bring the Class 6 road to the driveway standard, with the pull-off, et cetera. So where does the, where does the fire ward stand with the ability, where it's gonna be over 500 feet from the road? Where do they stand in this? Because they have, obviously, vested interest, and they have standards for, again, being able to pass vehicles, et cetera.
Well, first of all, we'd have to see that research book that we have from New England College gives every street. Some are 33, some are 49.5, some are 50. So even though the trees and it's crowded into 16 feet, there may have to be quite a few trees removed well within the town's right of way. I think that where the fire wards would get involved is at the driveway part of it, for access.
Well, it sounds like the access is limited from Mountain Road all the way up Jewett.
Very.
Right, but it could be over years of not, I mean, we could own 50 feet through there. I don't know.
Right.
I don't, without looking, I don't know what the town owns for a right of way there. Every road varies, so we'd have to look that up, and I didn't bring the book home. The one thing I didn't bring, I brought everything else home, but. So
No,
we'd have
all-
to A, start with that, and I think B, then you have to, whoever's gonna do Dylan's work would probably behoove them to involve the fire department, especially where they were given a condition that fire trucks are supposed to be able to have accessibility. And I
Can I-
think there's time to move in between.
I don't know, I've got months.
Somebody else was talking on me.
I think what Jack's intention was probably with ZBA is the same thing he did on East Shore Drive when they put that house in to make it wide enough so the trucks could pass in that one area.
Right. But I think if Dylan and whoever's going to do his work meets with Benji and could ask the fire chief to come along, it's easier to do it at the beginning. And actually, I see, Jeff, are you on? I see your microphone is on. Are you on, Jeff?
I am.
Okay.
The
This is
way
Jeff Spring.
The way I understand it from the variance that is in place, the 50 feet widening starts from the culvert and goes along Dylan's property for 50 feet. We got to widen it to 16 feet for that 50-foot stretch. We don't have to widen it all the way from the entrance of Jewett off a mountain, just that 50-foot stretch from the culvert 50 feet toward Dylan's property, just wide, long enough for two fire trucks to pass. So the trees on the hill, the whole, that's gonna.
Okay, that sounds more practical, to what I was thinking. But again, I still think that, and I don't know, again, this is kind of the first that I've heard of it. Other than I knew Dylan was trying to do something up there as far as what the ZBA had put in place. So I still think, and I don't know if it falls back on the town. I don't know if it falls back on DPW. I don't know if it falls back on Dylan and crew to make that accessible from, and when I say accessible, tree-wise, from the mountain up. I don't know.
Well, that wasn't part of the variance, the restrictions or the requirements of the variance.
Okay,
That the variance specifies installing the culvert and then widening the road from the culvert 50 feet toward Dylan's property, toward Dylan's driveway, so that two trucks can pass.
okay,
It speaks nothing about the hill or widening or tree clearing or any of that.
okay.
Would
With
it
that-
be, oh, sorry.
Well, which I understand, but then there would be fire trucks stuck on the hill. So like, there wouldn't be enough room, like it widening right in front of Dylan's property. There's no other way to get down the road, so that it wouldn't make any sense at all. So I guess that's not how I read the conditions, and that's how I interpreted the conditions. So I guess there's just a lot of misunderstandings going on. I guess I don't read conditions anyways, but logically, if you're coming through that way, there has to be enough room for an ambulance and a fire truck, was how he put it. And there's not. So I don't know. It's a tricky situation, and I'm just concerned that it's going to get even trickier.
Naomi, is there a way that we can, I haven't seen the variance. Is there a way we can get that emailed over to the board members, and maybe at our leisure, we can take a site walk up there?
I mean, I think that would be worthwhile for a site walk because it's easier to do it. It's probably not too bad right now to do it instead of getting a lot more snow. I haven't been out there myself, but I think this is the time of year that maybe you could do a site walk. I sure could forward it because I got it from Kelly. Kelly had sent it to me so I could forward it to all of you. And then we could make a separate site walk. That's fine with me. I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah, because I'm rather confused about the hill and the tree cover, et cetera. I mean, it's been years since I've been up there, so I'd like to take a look at it before I make any decisions. Myself, anyways.
I think some of do the abutters have any say if like the trees have to come out of some of our side or some of the other person's side?
I don't think they would cut, I mean, the trees, if they were within the town's right of way and the selectmen said it would be easier if you take these trees out, that's ours. We're not gonna go cutting trees on somebody's personal property.
Well, I know, but is there any say as far as like which side they come from? I know it sounds silly, but if a lot of trees are cut down on our side, then we lose a lot of privacy too.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate they could take every single tree. I haven't been out there, so it's not fair to me to say that, I guess.
Yeah. I guess how would they decide which property to take them from? Would they do both sides or would they just choose one?
I'd have to ask the DPW director.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
And at that point, it's gonna be the responsibility, if it's gonna be on Jewett Road, it's the responsibility of the person that's gonna build out there, because we can't do work on a Class 6 road.
Okay, so it might be up to Dylan and
Legally,
Madison.
we can't do any work on a Class 6 road, the town can't use taxpayer dollars for it.
But
Could
because
I
we
be
own it,
involved in the site walk that happens since we're right there next to his property?
I mean, I have to post it as we're getting together, so
Public meeting.
do you subscribe at all to any of the selectmen's agendas? You can go on our website and e-subscribe and pick whatever you'd like to be notified of. So the minute the site walk agenda goes up, it sent an email to everybody that signed up for the selectmen's agendas.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. I didn't know about that yet.
You're welcome. I don't know that I have anybody else. You guys need any more conversation on that? Do you want to hold?
yeah, I would like to hold it, just table it until the site walk and we get all the information back to us so we can see what we're all talking about.
I believe I just forwarded you the conditions for my phone.
Okay.
But
Yep.
same, you can take a walk and take your paper with the conditions and go from there.
Naomi, maybe we should have the DPW.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pick a time that you all can get together.
Yeah.
It would have to be a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
How about this Saturday?
It's supposed to be good this weekend, I
Weather's
think,
supposed to be
weather-wise.
nice.
Well, Saturday afternoon, they're talking maybe some mess Saturday morning.
Yeah, I'm not available Saturday.
Available Sunday afternoon time.
How about like 3 o'clock or so? So if people have got other things
We
to
make
do.
it
we can go-
earlier because it starts to get dark soon. How about 2, more like 2 o'clock?
That's fine with me.
Fine with me.
Ruin the entire goddamn.
Sunday at 2 is fine.
Okay, so
You go back on.
schedule it for 2 o'clock on Sunday.
2 o'clock on Sunday, this Sunday?
Yep,
It's 2 o'clock.
that way it gets,
2
Yep,
PM
2
Sunday,
o'clock
you're
on
gonna meet
Sunday.
on site? Where are you gonna meet?
meet up there on site.
Probably me at the base of, there's probably plenty more parking availability at Mountain Road and Farren and Jewett, that whole corner, I would assume.
Yeah, you're probably right. It'd be more area there.
So Sunday, the 17th, 2 o'clock at Jewett and Mountain Road?
I
Yep.
think that'd be
Yeah.
best.
Yeah,
All right, Dylan and Jeff, you want to join us?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, and I'll get Benji to get there.
I'll be there too.
Okay, thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Anybody else
Okay.
on that?
So with that being said, Jack, Nate is made his way on. If you want to back up one.
Okay.
I'm sorry, before
Okay,
you
we'll
move
back
on.
up one and
Thank you guys for joining us from Jewett Road.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay, we'll back up and go to the cemetery lawn care discussion
Yeah,
with
Nate.
Nate St. Clair.
Yeah, Nathan is online. Nathan, you can unmute. I see. Hang on. I can see I can't unmute him, so. All right, Nathan, are you there? Nate, I see you're unmuted now. Nathan? Yeah. All right, he's on. I just can't, we can't hear him for some reason. Nate, are you back?
You still have him?
No, it shows that he's unmuted. I just scrolled through and I can see his name on there. I just can't see.
Must be having microphone issues.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know how you want to handle.
Well, I guess we'll skip it and see if he comes in. We want to go to, what do we get next? We got Beth, we go to revenues and encumbrances. Is Beth there?
I saw her open, her empty chair was there. Well, no, she's at the office. Oh,
Batting
there she
1,000.
is. There she is. Okay, Beth, the floor is yours. All right, Jack, would you want, Nathan just asked if I could call him. Do you want me to just call him? Beth, do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead. You see Beth walking around.
Hello, Nathan?
I'm
All right, I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna talk through my cell phone. I'm just gonna put it down and let you talk. All right, Nathan's on the phone.
Okay. Nate?
Can you hear him?
All I got was some scratch. I didn't hear anything.
Can you hear Nate?
Yeah, he's just very, very faint in the background.
Gotta love technology.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
All right, there you go, Nate. Go for it.
okay.
Nate, you might want to just mute your computer because you're getting feedback. It says that you're unmuted, and I think you are because I can hear your feedback.
Yeah, I can get feedback.
Yep. Can you hear him?
Nathan, are you there?
I'm here.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's better.
Go ahead, Jack.
Nate, the question is as far as the contract, it seemed to be incomplete for what had to be done for the rest of this year as cleanup. And we were curious as to whether or not you were going to continue on with the rest of the contract for the remainder of its time.
You mean for this year or the next year?
Well, you've got this contract is good for what, another 2 years? I believe it was a 3-year contract.
One.
Until November of 21.
What's that?
It expires November of 21.
Okay. Okay, it expires in November this coming year. We wanted to know if you were going to fulfill it or not, and they want to know what the intentions were.
Filling it. The cleanups didn't get totally done because of weather and timing. End up cleaning the rest of it up in the spring.
This is John Van. I can't hear what he's saying.
I can't hear anything
We
either.
couldn't understand
I
any
get
of
a
that.
lot of feedback.
Can't hear a thing.
Could you understand them, Naomi?
Well, it's very faint, but I'm still getting feedback because the computer shows that he's still on.
Yeah.
Chairman, quick question.
Go ahead.
I just got a text from Chief Moore. He has to punch out in about 15 minutes. With the technical difficulties we're having right now with Mr. St. Clair, what do you think about changing topics real quick over to FirstNet so we can address that tonight, and hopefully Mr. Sinclair can get everything taken care of on his end.
Nate, you want to do
We've got
that?
other stuff. What's that?
All right, so Nate's going to work on it on his end, and then I'll try him back.
That is computer off.
Okay. Okay, we'll go to when you want to go to the FirstNet, then we'll have a brief conversation on that, or it's not really on the agenda, but we'll have a conversation on that and go from there.
So we got the numbers from FirstNet, the comparing what our monthly through Verizon will be versus through FirstNet. It's about a $30 difference, not per month, and that's not per line, that's overall. With the hardware upgrade, that would be a one-time purchase. I'd like to go ahead and move forward with switching to FirstNet for PD now that we have the hard numbers. And I'd like to get Chief Moore's opinion on it, and if he would like to make that switch in his department.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. It has to be up to him, not us. It's his hardware that he's gonna have to be A. The other thing is I didn't like the part about the that other unit that's gonna go to Goffstown, because now we're bordering on the radio part of it. You know, where we can't do anything to enhance the radio system at this point. And that's what that's supposed to do.
Yeah, but we won't be addressing that until March. I'm talking about just the cell phone side of things for now.
Well, the way I read the emails back and forth, it sounds like they want to go forward right now also as part of this contract.
That's not the way I understand it. I understand it that we're only going to be dealing with the phones, and then after the March vote, then we can address the radio gateway.
Like I said, I think if they want to switch phones, that's up to them. And I mean, we're talking about switching cell phones. I don't think it really has to be our discussion. I think it has to be theirs. And if the rank and file wants to switch their cell phones, then, and they can afford to pay for it, then go for it.
Chief Moore?
I don't think that's something the selectmen have to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, that works. Like I said, the phone coverage, even if that's 5% to a format that we can communicate with, since we're having so many problems with radio, it benefits us. And if there's not much cost difference, we'll go that route.
So I'd like to ask a question. So if I don't mind moving, if that's the route they want to go, but we're ready to finalize the budget. So, or at least the warrant articles. And if it's $30 more, I mean, I think we have to alter the budget in the proposed, but not the default.
Correct. That would have to come out of their proposed budget.
Well, even if we didn't change it, it just kind of bottom line.
Right.
Yeah, I just
Well, I
think
mean,
that,
it's just a. Go ahead, Naomi.
no, and I totally understand that it's bottom line. I guess I don't want to just go, I mean, if it's part of the proposed budget that's well thought out, I think we should put the right number in there, in the
I
proposed.
mean, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do it.
Yep. Yep, and the proposed. Correct. But I think as far as equipment changes like that, it'll be up to the chief. I don't think we're the ones that should be making that decision. I think he's the one that should make the decision.
Yeah, I haven't seen the numbers that FirstNet provided. I can take a glance at them. My budget should easily absorb that with my telephone line. It's not a zero-based budget on that line, since the monthly bill on cell service fluctuates. Our regular hard lines, they're pretty standardized, but the other one, I believe I've got a $14,000 annual budget just for telephones, and that should cover the switch to FirstNet.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea.
Now, I just, so is it an all or nothing? Because it doesn't matter if you have a preference on an iPhone or a Sonim, because it's 99 cents. But if you get the Sonim, it looks like you got to buy the extra microphone.
Well, I think that the way that was, the Sonim was the phone that would work with the extra microphone. The iPhone will not. And I think that's why we wanted to go with the Sonim, because it would be ready when we wanted to make the move to with the inoperability box at Goffstown, when we're ready.
So my question is, why do we need 16 Sonims even for the office person?
Well, I thought there would be, I thought what they call them, the Black Hawk or whatever, the Nighthawks or whatever for
There's only
the hotspot.
5 Nighthawks for the cars. So it's
I believe you
16
can, I believe
Sonams.
you can change out, some have iPhones and some have the Sonams. It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Right, I just can't see, just my personal Emily or the girl, ACO needing this ironclad phone. I just can't see them using it. That's just my
Well,
thought.
Right,
Well,
well, we could change those to the iPhones if we
Well,
wanted
again,
to.
I think the equipment use is gonna have to be the patrolman and the chief. The other ones are gonna use it. Let them make the decision on it, what they want.
That's fine.
I
Yeah,
think that's the
but
best way to
Jack,
do it. We can't second guess them on it. And in doing that, I think it'd be a mistake at this point.
right, but in 3 or 4 months, when we try and use them as radios function as well, then we're gonna have to swap the iPhones if it's rank and file. We're gonna have to swap iPhones for the Sonams. So to me, that doesn't make much sense.
Well, I mean, I think that's up to them to decide if what they want to do, because at that point, if we upgrade the radio system, whatever we do, we still haven't heard from Motorola yet, so I think we're being premature. That if we do something like that, it may be a moot point on either end.
I don't think the Motorola, I don't think the Motorola is going to affect anything to do with FirstNet or cell phone coverage in general. Motorola, we're waiting on for the maps, which I was going to ask about later, where we stood with that. But that's just handling the land mobile radio, the actual VHF radio issue itself. The topic at hand this evening is cell phone carrier.
I think, again, that's what they want.
Jack, I can't understand.
Jack, your audio is absolutely you can't understand a word you're saying.
Yeah, I can't either.
Again, I think that they should be making the choice.
No good.
Which piece of equipment they use.
Nope, no good.
I think what Jack is saying is it should be the police department's decision what equipment they want to use. And if that's what Jack is saying, I agree with him 100%. Let the PD figure out if they want 5 iPhones and 10 Sonams, or that's up to them. I just want to talk about getting the service in. Let Chief Moore and his crew figure out what hardware they actually need.
Exactly right. Let them decide. Let those guys decide what equipment they want, because they're the ones that are going to have to be the end users.
Jack, you got to fix your audio, man. It's still terrible.
Yeah.
Jack, it's just a poor. It sounds like it's just a poor cell signal on your side. I don't know if it may be moving closer to a window, but no, I agree with Jack. The hardware side, that's 100% Chief Moore and his crew figuring that out.
Right.
For us, it's just, are we going to make the switch to FirstNet, or are we going to stick with Verizon and save the $30 a month?
Right. Well, I don't disagree with any of the conversations going on. I just want to make sure that we're thinking into the future, if we are going to try and utilize this as a supplement to the radio system to get the correct equipment in place now, rather than having to buy it or change down the line and have a associated cost with that, because we've already locked in with the equipment we bought today.
I agree.
Well, I mean, can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can upgrade, with these contracts with a cell phone, you can upgrade it every year. They can go for an upgrade every year. They want to switch or whatever. So I think at this point, let them decide, if they want to get the Sonams, some of them will want them, some of them may want the iPhones. Like I said, to tell them what they want, I mean, to do the contract, that's up to them. If they want to do that, they can opt out of Verizon as an individual department, and we can go with that. Let them decide if that's what they want to do.
But a contract has to come back to us.
Right. Once they make that decision, then it comes to us. But they get the prices, we get the pricing, and go from there.
Yeah, we got most of that, Jack. Not all of it.
I think, again, if you can hear me, it's like, let them sign in and with them and get the stuff squared away, and then when it comes to the contract, we'll be the final signer, but it's up to them to, make that decision, not us.
That's fine.
I think it's like trying to tell, the fire department which type they should wear, or trying to tell the, police department what gun they should be using. Let them decide which is gonna work best for them individually.
Well, like I said, I just want to make sure that we get the right equipment in place if we try and make that supplement change within the next 6 months, that's all.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's fine. If that's what they want to do, then let's go for it.
Do we need to make a motion, seeing as how it will lock us into some form of a contract?
Well, we're not locked into it until they decide to do it and we see it in front of us. Then we can make a motion at that point, I would say.
Yeah, I just got to see the actual proposal and look at what we're going to get, and then I can get back with the board.
Sounds like a plan,
Yeah, I
Chief.
think that's the way to do it.
Thank you for coming in, Chief.
We all set?
Sounds good. Thank you. I'm signing off.
Okay. Night, Chief.
Night.
Okay, do you want to go to Beth now and? Is she there?
I'm here.
We get
Hey, you
Nate's
guys, what do you want
Guess
to,
we're
what do you
ready
want to
for
do
you.
with, what do you want to do with Nate? He can't get the audio to work. Hello?
Yeah, I guess the thing to do is try to get with them somehow by phone or email, see what his intent is, if they're gonna follow through with the contract till November of 2021. Right now, I mean, it's been unsatisfactory from what I understand. Everybody's viewed the cleanup, so I think that's the way we have to do it.
So
Can
are
we
you, do
have
you want me
Nate
to
dial
reschedule?
into the Zoom number through one of the phone numbers that are on the invitation?
Okay, he just texted me and said their plan is to finish the contract. They fell short, the fall cleanup fell short because of weather and timing is what it says.
Yeah, but it wasn't only just the fall cleanup. They didn't maintain the cemeteries pretty near all summer. There was grass in them that was 2 or 3 feet tall, limbs that were not taken care of for months. It's not just the fall cleanup.
No.
Cemeteries themselves all year, pretty near all year, were in a deplorable condition.
Okay, I don't have anything text back. I mean, what do you?
Personally, I was not satisfied when I walked around in September. I walked around in October. We took pictures. I went out to the outlying cemeteries. They hadn't been touched in years. I'm just not satisfied.
Well, we have an option if the board wants to vote on it, and that is to opt out of the contract.
Okay, Nathan just typed back. Nathan just typed in, I'm sorry, and he said, okay, if that's the board's decision, we'll step aside.
So, I mean, do we have a motion?
I can't hear you, Jack.
I said, do I have a motion to have them set aside, or? It's up to the board. Okay, can you hear me better now?
Did we lose John? I'd like to table this until Selectman Osborne can rejoin. It looks like he's MIA now.
Jack, can you shut off the other phone, the other device?
I already did. I thought I did.
I think you have to leave the meeting on the other device.
Okay, how's that?
Oh, it's muted, so it should be all right.
Now I got no voice.
That we can hear you a lot better now, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're unmuted.
you're fine now, Jack. I can hear you fine.
Turn it up. Click that. You're muted. Hey.
Okay, there we go.
We can hear you guys. Fine.
Where did John go?
I don't know.
Until Selectman Osborne comes back, I'd like to table any further discussion.
All right, then instead of keeping Nate on the line, I guess we'll have to let Nate know what the decision is.
Yeah, I think that's probably best.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready now to go to Beth?
Yep.
Okay, Beth, you have the floor.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Do you want to start with the revenues?
sure.
Okay. Not much changed in the way of the 2021 estimated revenues. Just because year ended, I managed to just tighten up a few of them. So we're still estimating about $3,028,418 for next year. As you can see, there's not much change since the last time you saw them, but I just wanted to finalize them now that the year ended.
Right.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay. That was easy. Okay, let's move on to the encumbrances. I would like a motion made by the board to encumber $384,356.01. All of these are items that either have been ordered and we're waiting on the invoices. A few of them, the board has already seen them and pre-approved them.
Was I not there for the DPW changing to electric locks to the garage? Because I don't remember any of that.
Which one
That's
was
a big,
that one?
the $9,000 to Goffstown Lock and Key. I don't remember any conversation about that.
That was a non-public the night you weren't there.
To change it over to electric?
To change the locks was the order.
Right, but I took that as retumbling them, not putting brand new electric ones on.
Well, I think he upgraded just like we did at the town office with the electric fobs.
No. I don't know if I
The
agree.
dollar value, should that have got 3 quotes, or is this a town-specific vendor?
This is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get out of it. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, this is just a holding place. They did get 2 quotes. So this amount is to hold it. It hasn't been finalized. The job hasn't been set to do yet, so.
I don't know, I don't know if I agree with that still. I don't remember approving the electric idea, that's all. I remember, I was there for the conversation, I remember what happened, but I don't remember saying that we were gonna go to the fob system.
Well, with the fob system, when an employee leaves or a new one is hired, you don't have to keep changing the locks every time an employee leaves. And this way we can keep track who comes in the garage, like over the weekend or something. The system will allow us, just like Naomi does with this building. She can see what time anyone enters this building.
No, I understand everything that goes along with it. I do get that.
They have it in their budget. It's not anything that's above and beyond. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. All the items on this encumbrance sheet have already been taken out of the year end.
I make a motion to encumber $384,356.01 for 2020 encumbrances.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
John Van.
Aye.
I'm gonna be opposed.
And we still don't have John Osborne.
No,
Oh,
he's
he's
back.
on.
He's on.
You on, John?
But he's muted. There you go. No, you muted again, John.
You there now, Johnny?
He's muted, Jack.
Okay.
Yeah, that better?
There you go.
Yay.
Hey, yeah, I got kicked off. Had to come back in for some reason. So I'm in favor of this motion, but I didn't hear what was the outcome of, with Big Dog.
We tabled it till you got back.
You want to bring it back up then?
No, let's finish what you got going here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Beth.
Okay, moving on. Okay, and the last
Wait.
item. What was that?
What is John's votes in favor? So it's 4-1?
Right.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
And the last item that you were given for tonight is just a forecasted expenditure for the year end. I am still waiting for 2 vendors to submit their invoices for us. We should be able to close the year by Friday. So with all said and done, the operating budget is going to be under budget by estimated amount $293,656.53. Out of that, $281,000 is payroll and $7,000 is non-payroll items. When you take into account the warrant articles and the capital reserve fund appropriations, it looks like we're going to come in under budget about $307,000. And that is all the encumbrances included in that, so.
That's good.
And we came in over our estimated revenues too, so.
Very good.
Yeah, it was a good year financially. All I have.
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I'm getting this wrong, but you're trying to tell me that we came almost 700,000 on the budget last year?
No. The encumbrances are already taken out of the forecasted expenditures.
Well, so we're under budget over 300,000.
Under budget, correct.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
makes sense. Makes a lot more sense.
Any other questions for Beth?
Nope.
Do you want to go back to Big Dog Landscaping and the cemetery contract?
Yeah.
Johnny?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you hear us before or did you miss that?
I got kicked out right after I spoke of the disappointment I had with them for last year and the previous years that they haven't done the outlying cemeteries, and then I got kicked off.
Well, Nate said that they wanted to follow through on the contract till November of 2021. But and then he said that we didn't want them to step aside. So I guess it's up to us whether or not we want to have them continue or exercise our option is to step away from the contract. So what's your feeling?
My personal feeling is that I think we should exercise that option.
Harry?
I agree with John. I mean, I went out and walked quite a few of these cemeteries that were off the road. The ones that were on the road weren't being taken care of. And I went out September, October, and November and actually ran into John a couple different times. So I think that, I mean, one small cemetery, in fact, has got brush 7-8 feet tall. It's never been touched, I don't believe, in the last 5 years. So I don't think it's a good idea to continue.
John Van? What's your feeling?
I'm in agreement with John and Sherry. Having gone out and viewed, I don't know, half a dozen or so that day on Thanksgiving week, I was very disappointed in the lack of maintenance that I saw. While there was still no snow on the ground and no apparent regard for wanting to actually get it taken care of.
I don't, either way.
Okay. Well, I'll entertain a motion.
Make the motion that we exercise our option on terminating the contract for non-conforming.
Okay, is
with
there a
Big Dog
second?
Landscaping.
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sherry?
Aye.
John?
Yes.
Yeah. Ricky?
Abstain.
And yes.
Now, when should we bring it back up again to put that back out to bid? February, March? What are we thinking?
I'd say March. As the weather's starting to get better. It wouldn't be fair to put it out to expect any type of bids to come back with snow on the ground and they can't really see.
Oh,
what they're
I
doing.
agree. I just want to make sure that we don't space it when it gets to that point.
No, we put it out in March and that way it gives them plenty of time to come back by the end of April. Or middle of April. Snow should be pretty well gone.
Right. We've got to have somebody on board, I would say, by 1st of May.
Right.
Yeah, it's dependent on the weather, definitely, but I would say middle of March.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So probably the Monday after elections.
Yeah.
Weather is.
Okay, we'll plan it for then. What's the date?
Election to the 9th, it would be the 15th of March.
Okay, so make a note for it, the 15th of March.
Yep.
Okay, I guess the next item then, if we're all set with that, would be the finalize of the 2021 town warrant. Naomi, you there? Or did we lose her?
No,
No,
right here.
Okay.
You get up and made a drink. I'm just kidding.
The joy of Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as I emailed it all to you earlier this evening. I realized it after I got home. I apologize. The article for the budget, I don't know what number it's going to be because I'm waiting on the finalization of the planning board on Thursday night. Then I'll put the numbers together as far as, but the warrant article is there, proposed and default, with the estimated impacts there. I mean, nothing's really changed since you have seen it. The last time you did see it, I made some changes and the changes are incorporated in here. Also incorporated in here are the things that were brought up as far as consistency for the last few prior years' articles. So the union raises is recorded the same. for 59,953. The EMS, for the EMS, 2 more additional staff, that was given the wording that evening. That's the proper wording. Park and rec wages, building inspector, fire equipment, police cruiser. There was discussion one night at public comment regarding, so people know what they're voting for. We're not going to get into what we're buying, whether it be a Ford or a Chevy or a Dodge or whatever. I think we just put $61,000 for the purchase of 1 fully equipped frontline police cruiser. I believe that says it all. Fully equipped frontline. I don't know what else I can do for that. 10-wheel. This is the same article it was written as last year. We did add for the purpose of replacing an existing plow truck. Now, I did not put that in the police cruiser because if you remember, we have nothing to replace because it all went to the auction. So basically, Chief Moore is running the Unit 6, which is the Explorer. And then this would replace the Explorer, but it's just going to be a frontline vehicle. With trash.
Question verbiage on Article 10. We have it as listed as a dump truck and then a plow truck. Should we just have it all one?
You're not going to see the word dump truck. That's going to disappear when I give it an actual article number.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's it. So the 10-wheeler in the parentheses, John, just is for a placeholder because I have no numbers.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. Trash
Yeah.
trailer, 115,000. It is going to replace an existing trash trailer. The bridge. Okay, thanks. The bridge reconstruction's $25,000. Again, that wording hasn't changed. Road reconstruction, if you remember, it was brought to our attention, is the 525 with the anticipated coming from the state of 276,150, leaving an estimated remaining balance of 248,850 to be raised by taxation. And I write it estimated remaining balance because the first number from the state of New Hampshire is kind of up in the air. They give us an estimate. The next one for government buildings, $20,000. We're proposing for funding unanticipated failures to aging infrastructure. You guys had me add that. On to the next 3, honestly, are the same that you've seen every year, except for the last one is $140,000 versus $150,000. So, and then I do have 1 petition article which would go behind that. Tomorrow's the deadlines for petitions, so if there's more than 1 coming, then there would be another one. So that's all I have at the moment.
Which petition article is it?
We got the petition one about the explosives. And Maureen has verified they're all registered voters and she has signed it and given it to me. So I think there is 2, maybe 3, if I'm not mistaken, articles for the planning board, and then there is a petition article for the planning board as well. So those would go ahead of that, and their final public hearing does not occur at deliberative session because we start the budget at deliberative session. That would go ahead of it, and that's actually, they'll finalize that, as I said, Thursday night. That's all I have on that. I believe I caught all that you wanted from the last time.
Yep.
All the articles have an estimated tax impact, and that's based on, if you look at the 3rd page, the net assessed evaluation is $893,755. So to come up with your net assessed evaluation, you take the amount of the article that you're raising and appropriate it and divide it by the 893,755, and that's where you get the decimals. Just so you're not confused, though, it does look like you're raising and appropriate 99,000 on the second one down for 2 full times. So, but you take that number and you're gonna take away what he's gonna reduce. So the difference between the 99,291 and the 37,783 is what the tax impact is based on. Pretty easy to follow down through.
Yeah. Naomi, that number you just gave, you divide by 893 what?
893,755, it's on page 3.
Okay, yeah,
That's the net assessed evaluation.
yeah.
So the plan, I guess my plan is once Thursday rolls around, tomorrow, at the end of the day, I'm not there tomorrow, but Wednesday morning, I'll know if we have any more warrant articles. And then, after Thursday, I'll get them from Kelly Friday so that we'll have the whole warrant for the public hearing. We have the public hearing Monday night in the gym, not the cafeteria. I've been moved to the gym because of social distancing, plus they're making school lunches. And so in order to be able to have everybody out of there and do the cleaning, there's not enough time, so. Anybody have any questions on that?
I don't.
No.
At the gym, will we be able to broadcast live or will it be via Zoom?
It's not gonna be via Zoom. If we do anything, it's gonna be recorded. I gotta just catch up with cable to see what exactly we're doing. And if you'll recall, it's my guess, I don't know this, but I haven't talked to Doug yet. I don't think there's a drop in the gym, so it certainly wouldn't be live, but my guess is that anytime we've ever done a candidates night, they've recorded it on the little handheld one. And then rebroadcast it the next day once they did it on YouTube like the rest of them. Unless something changes, I won't know that. The gentleman that does the IT for the school reached out to me because he thought it was in the CAF. And I'm gonna try to hook up with him and Doug together to see what our options are. But it's my understanding that there's not a drop there.
Okay, and we cannot do Zoom, we cannot broadcast Zoom?
Uh,
I don't know how you do that. How are you gonna,
Wi-Fi.
Well, I guess I didn't advertise it via Zoom because how are you gonna, well, I guess I could try it, but I mean, how are you gonna control everybody?
Well, I'm thinking it would just be us broadcasting out, just the same as if it was over cable. You have the public out in the audience, and then we're broadcasting it live with no public comment via Zoom. It would have
Okay.
to, for public comment, it would have to be there at the gym, which is why we're holding it to the public.
I mean, I could advertise it that way, and I guess we could try to put something out right away and do it. I don't mind doing it. If they wanted to listen, I guess, sure.
The other thing is too, is they could also send you one of the chat windows through Zoom. Instead of having everybody voicing, you could try and use that chat function at the bottom. And then you as the moderator of the Zoom meeting could read them as they come in.
Yeah, and if we've used that chat window for finance. And what we did is anybody that wanted to speak, they actually had to go into the chat box and say question. And then the moderator or the chairman,
Recognized.
you can all see the chat box. So then he took them one at a time and let them speak, so you're not speaking over each other.
Right, which I think that would make the most sense.
We can try it. I don't have a problem doing that. I mean, it's just a setup for me. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I would just check with their IT and make sure they have a good enough Wi-Fi signal in the gym to do it.
We're gonna work that out this week because I know he wanted to catch up with Doug as well.
Okay.
Okay, we all set with that? Move on to the manifest. To order the treasurer to sign the payroll and accounts payable checks dated January 14th, 2021 is included in the following manifest. Payroll manifest of $70,000, $137.89. That's for weekly payroll. Accounts payable manifest for 2020 is $218,731.51. 2021 accounts payable manifest for $26,278.54. John Stark accounts payable manifest for $250,000. Where school accounts payable manifest for $300,000 for a total of $865,148. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Bill,
the
is
next,
that all five?
yep,
Yep.
Okay.
Suggestion, for any future votes, maybe we do a roll call to make it easier for everybody.
Yes. Yes, it will make it a lot easier.
yep, a good suggestion. Okay, the next item will be the minutes of 1/4. Anything on page 1? Anything on page 2? Anything on page 3? Make a motion, we accept the minutes for the 4th of January as written.
Second.
All those in favor? Jack, yes.
Sherry,
John?
yes.
John, yes.
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 Okay. Administrators report.
And Beth had a question, and I believe it's our intent to, she said, is the board holding a meeting next Monday prior to the public hearing? If not, I'll need a motion for AP and payroll. It's my understanding that we're gonna run it as a regular meeting, starting at 6:30 with a public hearing starting at 7. And so at that point, we would still do your manifest and your other. I would just ask that we don't have to carry the box across the street, that we do what we did this weekend, which was very good, and everybody came in and signed stuff, which was great. So is that your understanding as well, when it's gonna have a regular meeting?
That's
We're
my
gonna-
understanding.
We're coming to the town office.
No, you're gonna come to the gym and you're gonna start out at
Oh.
6:30 with your regular meeting, your pledge of allegiance, your public comment, and then we're just gonna do it right there. Is that what you understand as well?
I think that's the way we've done it in the past, as far as when we were in person. And I think it worked just fine. If questions came about, we answered them. But we conducted the meeting as we went.
That's exactly what I was thinking. All right, I think she said thank you. And she's also, Beth's also gonna have workbooks for the public hearing in the mail slots by Friday. She did that last year.
Picture.
Okay? All right. Hang on. All right, so I'll go on to my report then. So I just, like I said earlier, the annual budget meeting has been moved from the cafeteria to the gym, largely for sanitation purposes. And we'll also advertise on the website. We'll do it for Zoom as well. For those that want to participate, they'll have to do it through the chat, but we can make that up and we can actually put it in the front and we can put it out again on the website. Deliberative session, I was reached today. I didn't get a chance to call him back. Luke Drake is the moderator for the school. It is Eileen right there. She can listen. Evidently, the school is thinking about postponing deliberative session, which means they're gonna postpone the town meeting vote for the school. I don't understand how or why we can do that when I believe we have the ability of holding it in a place that we can social distance. We can set up the gym in a fashion that you can pull out the bleachers. You can, put an X every 6 foot for someone to sit at and not use every row. I think we have the opportunity to do that, to be quite frank. I didn't call Luke back. I guess I'm not sure. They're gonna try to decide on, I just don't know how you can just put off deliberative session and then put off March town meeting.
I don't think legally they can.
No,
Can they?
legally can.
Right.
I'm just saying they're thinking of doing it, so I don't know. I'd have to connect with the moderator at some point and figure out. NHMA has given us guidance, and we can do it in person, or you can do it via Zoom. There's a lot of mechanisms in place to allow you to handle it, which I thought we had handled, because at the most we've ever had is probably like 116, and half of them were fire department and employees. So I just don't know how we can just drop or postpone deliberative session. I'm not understanding that, and maybe I'll have to talk with the moderator once I talk to the moderator of the school and see what they're thinking.
Would that also not affect Henniker and their schedules too?
Yeah, it affects everybody's schedule. I don't, yeah, it certainly it affects a lot of schedules, and I'm not, I guess I can't wrap my head around as to why.
I don't understand at all.
I don't think it's legal. According to the guidelines that I see, they're supposed to have it within a certain period of time.
Right.
Well, like I said, I'll keep you informed, but I'll work with Eileen, but I will place a phone call to the moderator, which is Luke Drake. He's the moderator of both the Ware and John Stark. And then I did get an email from the SAU as well, asking, what we were doing, and I said we were meeting in person, so. I guess we'll see, we'll work that out, and I'll just keep Eileen informed too as to what is going on, but I believe we just have to hold it. I don't think we have a choice.
She's right here if you want to talk to her a minute, Naomi, or recognize her. You
Well,
want to recognize?
yeah, I just don't know what her thoughts might be about having the schools thinking of postponing deliberative sessions.
Hi, so good evening. I happen to be sitting in the living room, so serendipity, but I have a couple of thoughts. One is if you could reach out to Laura for a consultation on what are our risks or liabilities for moving forward if they choose not to. Because I think that the complicating factor is that we are in a collaborative school community. And so I'm curious about what impact that would have. Number two is I think there are some probably specific information that we would have to get about the facility that we're going to be using in terms of what are our capacity limits in terms of being at 50% capacity as per what the executive orders are. And I know that the Secretary of State's office had been in discussion on this, Naomi, and I think if I had been paying attention closely, I think that they were getting ready to make some determinations knowing that we were heading into this season. So that's why I suggest that maybe we consult with Laura to see what the parameters are at this point and what our liabilities are if we move forward, not knowing what the school is going to do. So.
Yeah, and I know they were NHMA I'm part of, and I think John Van and I had a conversation. There was something put out there December or January 4th or something just recently that what went around the listserv was, what are you doing about deliberative sessions? A good share of them are doing what we did and moved it to a gym where there's a little bit more room and spaced out and can do your social distancing. We can have hand sanitizer, masks, and everything else available. And a lot of the places were holding them in person.
Sure.
So I'm not sure. That's kind of where, I mean, they did send out some guidelines, which I'll be happy to share, but there's no reason to not have it if you can safely provide it. And
I
thought-
think our own legislature is kind of grappling with the same issues currently as well in terms of holding their public hearings and engaging in their process. So I think that this topic is of immediate relevance to both Secretary of State and I know the Municipal Association. So I guess for our purposes, knowing that we are moving forward most likely in that fashion unless we hear something otherwise, understanding what our capacity limits are in that space and also what would be our process if we, and I doubt we will, but if we exceeded our capacity limit and how we would make sure, how we would ensure that all of our citizens had a voice. So to the point that John, I think, was trying to make earlier around offering a remote access opportunity in addition to an in-person opportunity. And knowing that this would be, based on the governor's executive order, a mask mandated event.
Right, right.
But
Well, I
that's
guess
all.
we have some research to do and we'll have to work on that, so.
Thank you.
Yep. So, that being said, we finalized, I left next Wednesday, but we finalized the warrant articles tonight, which is number 8. Zoom, you've got the rest of the schedule for the month with the understanding that on the 25th, the selectmen will be talking about continuing it or not continuing it. But with that being said, I'm going to leave the 28th planning board at 7 o'clock via Zoom because it's not enough time statutorily to let anybody know that we're going to swap to in person. So the 28th you see on there is still going to be Zoom. The Finance Committee has been added since last week. They met last Wednesday night with the school and they've selected the 20th for their next meeting, at which time they're going to provide, I hate the word blurbs, but they're going to provide their votes on recommend or not recommend for deliberative session at their January 20th meeting. So that's all going to be remote Zoom. Anybody's welcome to listen. I know John Van tuned in last week for a little while. But that's the Zoom schedule. So far it has been working well. It's just we got to get a little bit better, I think, as suggested earlier, is when we do roll call votes. I know Conservation does theirs by roll call. Chairman calls out their name. And Finance Committee kind of did the same thing. I just think where people are not used to voices, a lot of people don't put their picture on there. That's just a voice, and then your voice only goes on there. It doesn't have your name. Your name doesn't show up on YouTube. So it's just nice to be able to do that. But, we're getting there. I think it's uploaded very well. I think it's talked about. And it's pretty clear, and it has been. Last week they put right up right away the 3 meetings. Now this week I have 4 meetings. I have one every night except for Friday. But like I said, I think it works well. And then I just give the thumb drive to Karen, and Karen gives it to the cable, and they put it right up. So that's working well. Under projects, I did hear from the vendor for the freeze alarm. He's just going to look at his schedule, and he had told me that he couldn't get to it for a couple of weeks, but he would let me know what exactly that date was. And he would finalize it probably next week because he'd have to see what his workload is. The others have remained the same. I do have 2 things I forgot to put in the box because I'm so used to bringing them with me. The first of all is which I'll put back in the box for next week, but there's the internet service agreement with CAI, and that is to start uploading and attaching the deeds that come through for the property. Wendy was going to do that, which saves a lot of time. That doesn't require a motion because there's 4 signature lines, so I'll put that in the box. And the last one would be a contract service with the lady called Sanders Searches. And what we do is that is the lady that does the searching for when people don't pay their taxes. She actually goes to the registry and searches out the mortgage holders and does all the letters for us, and puts it together. She does it for $20 a parcel search. Projected about 166 parcels out of the 5,000 end up in a lien. So we're looking at a number which is about the same of $3,320 for 21. So that also has enough signature lines in it that I can put it in the box for those to sign. No need to have somebody sign it, but I have them home, so they won't be back to the office till Wednesday because I'm not there. And that's actually all I would have at this point. You guys all, which we can cover under correspondence, Chief Moore's email. You guys all got an email from Chief Moore regarding his COVID schedule?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I would have.
Yeah.
So I guess we go into correspondence and other business.
A couple of questions on her TA report. Naomi,
Yep.
on general items, number 5, forestry contract, that's been forthcoming now for quite a while.
Yeah, I have it, John. I just haven't had a chance to put it together.
Okay, well,
Laura gave me one town, so I mean, I can put it together. It's just finding the time to do it.
okay. And the other question I had was under the building one,
Yes.
the second one, Clinton Grove.
Yep.
It's my understanding that quite a bit of that's been already done.
Yeah.
So why we still have that on there?
It could come off.
Is it done?
Yeah, the posts are all in. It was in when when that got brought up the last time, because I called him the next day and he'd already put the post in, so.
Okay. I'm still gonna try to get Walker Roofing to see if I can schedule him for April, but I don't know where they are for the winter. Obviously not working because I can never get a reply back.
Mm.
It's too bad that they're the only gig in town.
Well,
I can't understand why they would be.
I can't either. Unless they're just too busy. I don't know. I don't get it.
yeah.
We're independently wealthy.
Yeah, something.
Naomi, have you ever heard anything back yet from Motorola on the maps?
No, I meant to send him a second email. Jack and I talked this afternoon, but I didn't get a chance to. I'll send him out another email tonight or tomorrow morning. I know I'm anxious like you are to see what we're doing.
Okay, anything else?
I'm good with her report.
Okay. Okay, and the correspondence or other business?
Yeah.
No,
Looking at Chief Moore's email on the COVID schedule. I don't see any problem with it.
yeah, I don't either. I think it's great by the
Yep.
looks of it. And like, I mean, he even put it in perspective, it's gonna save what, 53 something percent
Yep.
on overtime over the last one. So I think
Yeah.
that's perfect management right there.
I agree. Anything else under correspondence or other business?
Nope.
Nope.
I guess then I'll make a motion to adjourn. We have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So,
Yes.
Yes.
I guess it's unanimous.
Good
Okay,
night.
good night.
Good night.
Yeah.